Hey friends, it's Courtney here. So today I just thought I would share with you guys all of the books that I read in 2018 and also let you guys know what my least favorite and my favorite books were that I read in 2018. So in 2018 I read 70 books, which was my goal, and I met it exactly, no more or less. So that was good. I did a little bit of math just to figure out what percentage of ratings I got. I do keep track of all of my reading and what I rate my books on Goodreads. So I went back through all of the books that I read in 2018 and did some math to find out what I rated the majority of my books. So for 1-star books, I only had one book that I rated 1 star, and so it was about 1% of the books I read were 1 star, which is good. We want that to be low. And then for 2-star books, about 6% of the books I read were 2 star. About 26% of the books that I read were 3 stars. And then my biggest category was 4 stars, which made up 39% of the books that I read. And finally, I had 29% of the books that I read ended up being 5 stars, which is really good. So over a fourth of the books that I read this year were 5 stars. So today I'm just going to go through each star rating and share with you guys the books that I read in that category. And I'm not going to be talking in detail about what the books are about at all or my specific feelings about them. However, if you would like some more information, feel free to check out my Goodreads page. My username is Courtney with 2 Y's 41. So feel free to go follow me on Goodreads and check out my reviews for each of these books, and also you can find out more about the books and where you can purchase them and things like that. So I'm going to save my least favorite and favorites for the end of the video. So my least favorites are obviously the 1 to 2 stars, so I'm going to skip over those for now. And I'm just going to share with you guys all of the books that I read and rated 3 stars. Capital Gains by Chip Gaines. A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. I Stopped Somewhere by T.E. Carter. Bad Mommy by Tarryn Fisher. Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna Maguire. The Party by Robin Harding. The Couple Next Door by Sherry Lapina. The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. The House with a Clock in Its Walls by John Belaris. Asylum by Madeline Rowe. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Misbehaved by Charlie Rose. The Breakdown by B.A. Paris. The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. Roomies by Sarah Zarr and Tara Altebrando. The Christmas Hope by Donna Van Leer. An Amish Second Christmas by Beth Wiseman. And finally, A Nancy Drew Christmas by Carolyn Keene. So those are all of the books that I read in 2018 that I gave 3 stars. So now we're going to move on to 4 stars. This is gonna take forever. 10 by Gretchen McNeil. The Husband's Secret by Lainey Moriarty. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover. The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton. A Good Marriage by Stephen King. The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. Final Girls by Riley Sager. Witches of Litchford by Paul Cornell. The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torr. The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. Landline by Rainbow Rowell. Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sanz. The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. The Selection by Kiera Cass. The Elite by Kiera Cass. The One by Kiera Cass. Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. The Christmas Light by Donna Van Leer. The Christmas Blessing by Donna Van Leer. A Dog Named Christmas by Greg Kincaid. Dashing Through the Snow by Debbie McComber. And finally, for 4 stars, Lucky in Love by Casey West. So moving on now to the books that I read that I rated 5 out of 5 stars in 2018. I had 20 books in 2018 that I rated 5 out of 5 stars, and I went through and chose 8 of them as my 8 favorite books of the year because 2018, I don't know, it just made sense. But anyway, I'm going to go through the other 12 first that are kind of like honorable mentions, I guess, that did get 5 out of 5 stars but weren't my favorites of the year. So let me show you guys those first. Too Late by Colleen Hoover. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire, The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken, Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Someday Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham, The Christmas Shoes by Donna Van Leer, After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really just appreciate this cover, honestly, as well. Like, me as a wife. And finally, for my honorable mention 5 stars is Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. Okay, so now that all of those books are done, I wanted to get to my least favorite and my favorite books of 2018. I'm going to save my favorite books for last so that we end this video on a good note. These are just books that I read in 2018, not books released in 2018. Some of them were, some of them weren't, but it's just in general books that I read. So I apologize if I offend anybody. I know that I will. I have at least one for sure super unpopular opinion, so we'll get to that, but I just want to say that these opinions are my own, and if you feel differently about these books, that's great. That's the awesome thing about reading and reviewing books, is everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So with that being said, let me get to my least favorite books that I read in 2018, and I have 5 of them. So I'm going to start with the 2-star reads. So the first 2-star read and one of my least favorite books of 2018 is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was really surprising for me. 2018 was kind of the year of Taylor Jenkins Reid for me. I read all of her books and I gave most of them 5 stars. So for this to be only a 2-star book was pretty surprising for me. I can't remember if this is her first novel, but it was just really slow for me. I liked the overall plot and idea of the story. It was just really slow, and I found the character to be a little bit unlikable at times. So feel free to check it out yourself though. Please check out all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. They're amazing, but this one just for me fell a little bit flat. So the next book that is one of my least favorites of 2018 is What She Knew by Gilly McMillan. And I think this got pretty good reviews on Goodreads. Not a lot of people disliked this book, and I can tell you exactly why this is one of my least favorite reads of the year. So basically this book is about a mother whose son goes missing, and it's kind of a mystery. I won't go into any details, but it's a dual perspective. One of the perspectives is of the mother, and then the other perspective is of one of the detectives on the case. And one thing that I've realized over just reading so many books is I do not like books from the perspective of police officers or detectives or anything like that. I love TV shows like that, movies, things like that. So good, but as far as books, I don't like reading from those perspectives. I just find it to be kind of boring. So that's why I gave this such a low rating. I just wasn't interested in reading from the detective's perspective. The third book on this list is Adultolescence by Gabby Hanna, and this is really disappointing for me because I'm a huge fan of Gabby. I love her YouTube channel, I love her music, her videos. I think she's so incredibly talented, very down to earth, and I think she's just like a boss. She really is focused on self-improvement and just being the best her that she can be. She's very empowering. I really love and support her. I just found this to be really bad. I feel so bad. It's poetry, so obviously poetry can, I want to like spin this in a way that it's like, oh, it can mean different things to different people, but like these were just really bad. Like, I don't know, read it for yourself and you'll understand. It's just really not good, and I feel bad because like I said, I love her, but I would not recommend anybody to read this. It is not good. So the fourth book on this list, and the one I'm most apprehensive about for this whole video, is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I gave this 2 out of 5 stars, which I feel terrible about. This is a lot of people's favorite books. It's like very well loved in the book community, and even non-readers. A lot of people have to read this for like school and stuff, so it's a lot of people's just favorite books. I didn't like it. I found it really boring. I don't know if it was just like the time period just wasn't for me. I mean, like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, so please don't come at me for this. Like, I'm sorry. I just didn't like it. And I feel really bad, and I don't ever want to talk about it again. And finally, the last book that was one of my least favorite reads of 2018, and the only book in 2018 that I gave a 1 star to, is Go Ask Alice by Beatrice Sparks. So I, on New Year's Eve, had read 69 of the 70 books I wanted to, and this was a pretty short book that I had on my shelf, so I just read it in one sitting, and it was just not good. It's basically diary entries of this girl as she like falls into the wrong crowd, and I didn't like it. It wasn't well written, the story wasn't intriguing, it just was not good, not my favorite, and it doesn't have very good reviews. So at least I have one book that people agree with me on, but I just really hated this, and I want to get it off my shelf because it was bad. Woo, so now that that's over, I get to my 8 favorite books that I read in 2018, which I'm very excited to share with you guys. Obviously, these are books that I would recommend. A lot of people I see on Facebook or Instagram always are asking for book recommendations. So these 8 books that I'm about to share with you are books that I recommend that you read in the upcoming year or sometime throughout your life. So first on this list of my favorite books that I read in 2018 is Big Little Lies by Laini Moriarty. And I know that this has become an HBO series, so I'm sure some of you guys have seen that. I personally have not seen the series, but I read this book and I'm obsessed with it. It was so good, so entertaining, so well written. I'm finding that I love books that are like middle-aged, high-class women who kind of like Desperate Housewives, basically, like still have problems and drama, and I don't know, I'm just like, I like them. I find them super entertaining, and this also had a little bit of mystery in it as well, so I definitely recommend you read this. If you've seen the series and you love it, read the book. I'm sure it's better, and if you haven't, read the book for sure. It's really good, and I loved it. So the second book on this list is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. This is a middle grade book, and I really enjoyed it. It is perfect for Halloween time, so if you're gonna pick this up, definitely pick it up around October, Halloween time. And it's not scary, like I said, it's middle grade, but it definitely gives you those Halloween vibes, and it gives you a very good atmosphere for the Halloween time. So I definitely recommend that, and I loved this book. I heard it's gonna be a movie as well, so that's good, love that. Next is The Book of Essie by Megan McLean Weir. And I haven't heard a whole lot about this book, which surprises me. It was so good. It is about a girl who grows up in the, is she Amish? And no, not Amish. What is she? Mormon? I think it might be Mormon. I should have refreshed myself, but basically she comes from a very religious family. I believe her dad is like the pastor, preacher, and she ends up getting pregnant in high school, and it's basically about how her family tries to like cover this up, and it's just really good. It's very compelling. I recommend anybody reads it. It has beautiful writing, and I really loved it a lot. The next book is one that everybody is talking about, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And Taylor Jenkins Reid was one of my favorite authors before this book even came out, and she kind of like blew up for everybody. So I'm happy about that. But yes, she is still one of my favorite authors. I loved this book. It is about a woman who she looks back on her life and kind of recounts her life story and her 7 marriages to a reporter, and I laughed, I cried, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful story, and I think everybody should read it. Next, I have The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli, and she also wrote the Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, which is the book that the movie Love, Simon is based off of. She just writes great young adult books, and I really loved this one. So definitely, if you're into young adult books, if you liked the movie Love, Simon, check this one out. Next, we have We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This book was so good. It's basically about a girl who ends up leaving her hometown, moving across the country, and kind of just forgetting about the life that she had led. And this is all because of an event that took place, and the book is kind of just like learning about that event, learning more about her as a character, her family, her relationships, and it was really good. And finally, my favorite book of 2018 was Verity by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is my absolute all-time favorite author. I've met her twice, and I just love her and all of her books. This one was very unique for her because it was a suspense thriller mystery, and she usually writes romance, so that was really cool to read something different from her, but she did this so well. The plot twists were there. I was so surprised. It was, of course, great writing, and it was amazing. So this is also available on Kindle Unlimited, so if you want to check it out, go for that. I believe you can get your first month of Kindle Unlimited for free, so even if you want to just sign up for it for the first month and read this and then cancel it, there's an idea, you can read it for free. But if you do read it, let me know if you guys like it. I loved this book. And I'm so excited because she just posted on her Instagram that she is currently writing a new book. Thank goodness, I'm so excited. Yes, I love Colleen Hoover. So those are all of the books that I read in 2018, and also my list of least favorite and favorite books that I read of this year. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of these, and if you're interested in more book related videos, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. And if you have any video requests, just leave me a comment down below, and I would love to do what you guys want to see. But that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!